Hey friends, it's Dennis Nappy II here, and I want to share a personal project that I did a few weeks ago, and I want to talk about some of it. It's personal. I did this on September 12th, but I think I want to share some of it with you. As a remote viewer in training, I find myself wondering, what can I do with remote viewing? How can I push this? And I think one of the greatest challenges. Um, and I'm sure it's a benefit, but it is the front loading aspect because I have all these curiosities and things that I want to explore, but you can't successfully do that. Well, correction. Front loaded data is not the most desirable form of data because I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's harder to interpret. Is this my conscious mind or, in my imagination because I know what the target is, or is this actual data that I'm getting? And I suspect some viewers who are way more experienced than me can discern that a lot better. But I find myself at times saying, I want to explore this on my own. Um, and I don't want to ask a tasker because it's the same thing as front loading to put it out there. So I was going through some challenges in life, as we all are, and as I always seem to be. And I was just saying, like, how can I use remote viewing to help me, to give me some guidance and some information? Now, to our purists out there, I mean, let me know. Does this not count as remote viewing? Either way, it was a therapeutic exercise for me, and I want to share that session. And what I decided to do was target my future consciousness at a point in time where it was able to give me some insight and some advice on some things. And I got some things that are, I think, esoteric and philosophical, and I'm only going to share half the session because I got some other things that were um, of value to me. Now, my thoughts on this are, I mean, this could have 100% been my imagination, but going through this process as if it was a remote viewing target did help me to connect with things that felt spontaneous, that felt like when I get remote viewing data. So maybe I was just running my imagination, but it allowed me to drop my own barriers of fear because sometimes you'll only take a thought so far before your conscious mind's like, nope, shut it down. Don't think about that. You're crazy. You're weird. All that negative talk, all that stuff that just in my mind shuts me down. So this process allowed me to just record freely some of the things that I think I needed to get out. And I want to share some of the stuff that's a little more, I guess, abstract and not as personal here. And just see what you think. And then, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is there a way to design a target like this to use remote viewing to consult the oracle to get advice? I know it's kind of fringe and woo woo, but it was a fun experiment for me. So I just want to see how I can push this and what directions I can go. And I ended up getting some value out of it. So the target here was my own consciousness in the future. Viewer will connect with viewer's own consciousness at a point in the future where viewer's future consciousness is able to offer advice, guidance, information to the viewer related to the viewer's present life at this point in time. I tried to keep it vague intentionally, just so I wasn't front loading myself too much, knowing what the target was. So here we go. I felt a little stiff that day. I think I was sore from working out. And right away, subject in life: intelligent, brilliant, hopeful, inspiring, happy, and fearsome. Well, I would like it if all those things described me. Maybe that's my ego. But this really did feel, these were, just writing real fast, things that were coming to mind as I was probing my ideograms here. And then I had something of motion, energetics, and then slow moving. Moving on to my next ideogram, I had a life: messy, chaotic, violent, turbulent, change, turmoil. And that describes some of the things that I'm going through in my life right now. Another ideogram here. Had no B. I don't know what it was, but I had flat, spaced, open, hide, expressive, emotional energy, which I have a lot of. And then I had this AI. I feel intensity, anger, frustration, lots of movements, fear, and energetic. My S2 is just focused, intensity, struggle, and I can't read my writing when I'm going so fast. I don't know what that is. Coppable. Okay. And then I had an AI. I got this. I can handle this. Looking at some more S2 data. Um, Nothing here really jumps out here. Um, but here, when I was looking at the dimensionals, this is where it was pretty cool. Circular, bright, rounded, a sphere, dimensional, multi-dimensional. And then I got this, and it was just this white glowing sphere on a completely black background. And as I probed it, it was a white sphere, glowing, rounded, three-dimensional, backlit shadow, has mass. It's an object. And then the B, this black here, it was dark, a structure, but it was irrelevant. And then it just felt like as if the sphere represents something significant and nothing else matters. My aesthetic impact was I want to cry as if I had a breakthrough and a realization. What's important? My kids, my life. These are the things that are important to me. And continuing, what is important here? I feel joy, happiness, and laughter. I'm feeling a comforting energy. It's going to be okay. I like this joy. What can I perceive? Reality as a concept, as a construct. It is moldable and bendable, and you can shape it to your will. And I had this drawing here again, and it was like, I was just this shape, almost like a snail shell shape, what I was calling in my mind. And I had soft ripples, measurable, intelligent. And then you touch one spot and it ripples and moves across. And I felt like maybe this was almost like a universe or universal energy. And then at the bottom here, slow moving, expanded, spreading. And I had an AI of fear and an AOL of the virus. Am I afraid of the virus? But then I drew it again, and it was as if one point ripples throughout all of it. And I had in time. And this was significant. It was like, it felt like an influence. You make an influence, maybe in your own psyche, in your own psyche, your own self, and it just ripples outward and has this almost like this butterfly effect going throughout. Ripples in time was the concept that I was exploring. There was a really neat experience, and then that evolved into something that was silver reflections, like a reflective pool, metallic, mirror-like, with waves. And I saw myself, or someone, I didn't see myself, so someone looking into a silver pool, almost like mercury. And this person here, they were curious, wisdom, something with subconscious, and an AI of, I feel sad, I want to cry. And then looking into this reflective pool, I had judgment, partial, insight, introspection, and an AI of, I fail, I am a failure, sadness, crying. Imagine image, I don't know what that says. It's like a reflecting silver pool. My S3.5 was, I don't like what I see. Escape, run, flee. So then I asked the question. Well, I heard the question. This is kind of what I heard in my mind. Who am I? Man, capable, intelligent, fierce, but muted. Step into your own, step into your power, fight, but not how you think. Fight for yourself, increase creativity, for through that you find your wisdom. And that speaks to me as a writer and as a creator. And then I wanted to sketch and describe the most interesting or the most important aspect of this target. It's got the words ferocity, velocity, movement, heart energy, gut energy, fear center versus love and creativity center. It's the battle between the heart and the mind. I feel sad. I want to feel sad. I know that's not what I want, but I hear it in my head. Loser, that's me. And this really speaks to, a lot of the struggles that I go through, not just as a remote viewer, but just as a person, as a father, as a teacher. It's just every aspect of my life. I feel that I'm having these battles. And this was insightful for me. I can't go into everything, how it connects to all these points in my life. And I went into, there was more to this session, but it's too personal for me to share. But I have to say, overall, it was helpful for me. It was really a helpful experience to go through that process. Now, was I just tapping into my own subconscious in a front-loaded way, and this is not remote viewing at all? That's highly possible. But the process of remote viewing, using the structure of remote viewing, helped me to extract information from myself in a very unique way. So I'll take this one as a win for me. Curious, is it remote viewing? Is it not? It's kind of irrelevant, but I'd also love to hear your thoughts on it. So this was a personal one for me to share, but I felt that it was important to put some of that out there for all of you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So I'm Dennis Nappy the second. Remember to never stop questioning, keep an open mind, and let your intuition be your guide. Thanks.